and recording, and get rid of this, and alright, so super. So okay, we are in a course that is called the music production of a single. But like everything in our school, it's a bit different than than what it says there, because we're gonna make an EP. I mean, I didn't make these decisions. I really that's how it worked out to be, and it's connected to the logics of the whole 4 years and everything. But like I told you in the past, there are these not sharing screen. Screen. Sure. Thanks for a reminder. Your entire screen. There you go. So okay. We're in a subject called the music production of a single, and like I was saying in this introduction, like in the logics of the new course, on the new bachelor's that we built in the summer, we have. I don't think. I think if I don't move from this slide, I'm gonna give you epilepsy or something. So yeah. So okay, and in the logic of the new bachelors, there is like in the first year you guys make a single, in the second year you guys kind of learn to use the studio. I mean, that's the logic of the new bachelors, and in the third year you make an EP, and in the fourth year you make an album. Like everybody has to do this. So it's what we did in the first year. What do you mean? Yeah, yeah, it was a single. That's what I mean. You made a single in the first year that it ended up in this. I mean, you made more than a single, but I mean, that we were focusing on a single, and that made it to the compilation album. So I mean, this year we're gonna make an EP fully together from beginning to end, and we're gonna explore some songwriting techniques and also music production techniques together. So in a way, for those of you, I mean, everybody here except you were in the course of music production with me in the first year. And in that music production course, we went through a lot of, like, let's say, basic principles, philosophy of production, techniques. We practiced, we made some stuff. And then there was a second year of also learnings of music production and how to do things in the DAW and how to make music. And now we're like in the third year of that. So this is like a third year advanced music production course, something like that. What else do I want to say? Like the idea of, I mean, for me, when I conceived this course initially, I was thinking just like to create a single that is like a hit, you know, like it's like that kind of song that you focus on it for a year or something. That was kind of my thought and what I wanted to do. But then, I mean, I have like, you know, relationships with the decan of the school and what he wants to, and so we had a meeting on Monday, and he was like, "Hey, I want this fishka, which is like single, studio, EP, and album in the whole progression of the whole years."
What is studio?
In the second year, the students learn how to use the studio.
I see.
Yeah, like for the first time. Like yesterday, we started doing this. They did it already, and they can go to the studio and work there.
And the production single without studio, only with electronic.
The first year is with like kind of like here. You can do whatever you want. It can be in the 410. You can record some drums, whatever. But you cannot go to DTH Studios on the first year. On the second year, you can go and you start going, and on the third year, you continue going. And this topic, I mean, like I told you, the Ministry of Education has all these names, these fixed names, and there was a name from the Ministry of Education of a topic called the music production of a single. So we took this as one of the subjects, and then we are doing inside of that subject everything that we want with it. That's how we're working with the Ministry of Education, just so we can give this like this document that said, hey, look, like we are teaching the music production of a single, but well, what we do inside of that, it's kind of more our decision. So in the first year, you did music production. In the second year, you learn how to use the studio. In the third year, you're gonna do kind of like music production in the studio, something like that. I mean, I am I have created a program that is designed to force you to write an EP while using the studio. So in your case, we will find a way to work. I mean, with you, like, I think that we can do something like, well, I don't have an answer yet to what we're gonna do with you. For those of you online, I'm talking about a specific case. Do you want to introduce yourself? Have you met your friends already? Can you come 1 second? Just here. So everybody, we have a new student in our class.
My name is...
Можешь по-русски? Да.
Да, меня зовут Сергей Слесарев. Я учусь в Московской школе кино. Увидел, что есть возможность ходить параллельно в школу музыки, и мне любезно пошли навстречу, разрешили выбрать те курсы, которые мне интересны.
Да. So he's kind of like doing a satellite course in which he's not going for any diploma or something. It's just like taking some subjects and running through it, and it's going to be for a year. So that's why we have a special case here, and I'm talking a little bit about that. So about your case,
I have some basic knowledge about studio, about
да.
DAW,
Mm-hmm.
about and we produce. I play in rock group
Yep.
for 7 years.
Yeah, I understand that. But anyways, we will find a way how to accommodate you in the studio so you can do the things that are going to help you this year. So anyways, back to our subject matter. Like, I mean, as you know, I love to write songs and I love to write music, and I'm trying to kind of like conceive what can I do better about all of this and how can I improve my own songwriting. And for me, these courses that we're doing together are opportunities for growth for me, in which you kind of join me and you continue and learn together while I'm learning, kind of. I mean, I'm honest, because this is the first like 4 years that we have been doing this, so every year is a new course for me. And if you would come back here in 10 years and I would have already been teaching everything for 10 years, then things would be different. But that's how they are now, because every year is a new year and I'm only one person. I'm not 3 persons. So I was looking into this project in several ways. So the first way I was thinking about was something kind of like creative studio techniques that was being done. You haven't seen Dima this subject because it was seen by the songwriters. And it was kind of like a music production in the studio. The second way I've seen it is like, well, let's go inside the DAW and continue what we were doing in Introduction to Music Production and make some and produce some things here. And the third way I was seeing is like, hey, I feel that there is like a gap or a lacking here on songwriting skills in general, just like grabbing a guitar, making a song, grabbing at the DAW and making a song out of nowhere. Because, I mean, you guys, engineers, have not seen this because you were in another world, and the guys on the songwriting path had this like issue with Armir, and then there was this issue with, not issue, but the Petrashevsky course was very short. So I think that the course deserves some deep dive into songwriting. So what are we going to do today is like we're going to identify the basic blocks of the course, basic building blocks of the course. We're going to identify different ways of starting a song. We're going to talk about something called the central theme, and we're going to start experimenting with some new techniques, and we're going to do something today. So those of you guys online, I hope that you can help me to make a... I have my own memes sometimes in my head, so I hope I can help me to help you to do some exercise that we're going to do together. You will not need the DAW for this. It's actually an exercise on writing lyrics. But maybe we will start working on the DAW today. I don't know. We will see how far we can get there. So, I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, writing a song is kind of like a canicula. It's like a holiday. I mean, when I can write a song, when I can finally write a song, you know, it's kind of like everything is set up perfectly. You know, finally I can just open some time to work on music. And I'm always teaching or taking care of my kids or working in the studio and doing things that are not writing songs. And I really miss it very much. Actually, the last time I sat down and wrote a song just for writing a song that was not a commission or a project or something was in 2020, something like that, in August. It was before the beginning of this project. After this, I haven't had a second free to write a song. I mean, I'm writing right now, for example, 75 minutes of original music for a movie, like for a full polymeter, yes, and it's a really good project. But, I mean, that doesn't mean that I don't write songs. It just means that I haven't sit down to write a song for me, and I really miss it very much. It's a catharsis. And I don't know, I wanted to ask to you, like, let's start with the guys online. Like, how is the process of writing a song for you? Like, is it something like this, like a canicula, or you see it more like a stressful thing? Can somebody there online answer me that question? No?
I can go first.
Yeah, please.
I mean, the initial part of songwriting
Mm-hmm.
is more like a holiday, I would
Mhm.
say, like
Yeah.
starting the idea.
Yep.
But then when you have to like develop it, add like different ideas to it, instruments to it, it's a bit stressful. Like it's 50-50. You kind of enjoy it, but it's still like you have to think a lot
Yeah, sure. Sure.
of how it's going. Yeah.
Do you see it like as a, I'm going to use a specific word and you will see later why. Do you see it as a risky process? Like, I mean, when you're kind of like taking a risk or something, or it's not a risky process for you?
Not a risky.
Uh-huh.
I feel quite safe.
You feel
when
quite
I do it.
safer than being in Moscow right now. Something
Yeah.
like that. Good. Okay, anybody else there online that want to share with me something? Maybe Lala, if you're there. Like, how is the process of writing music for you? Is it like a holiday or is it like a stressful
Usually
thing?
it depends on the atmosphere. Usually I write the music at home,
Да.
so the room should be clear
Mm-hmm. Да, that's important.
and I should be home alone.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be. I prefer write the music at night.
Ah, you prefer that?
Mostly.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Great. Can you write with other people?
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
with my brother
Uh-huh.
or with my friends.
Cool. And Grisha, are you there?
Yep.
How is
Can
it?
you hear me?
How is the process for you? Yes, we can hear you great.
If I need to write a song, like I have a task or like an aim to write it, it's a huge stress.
Uh-huh.
If I do something else, like tidying my room, it's fun. It depends really on the situation. Like if I have some sort of a deadline, it's no fun.
It's no fun when you have a deadline.
Yeah.
And have you done any work that it's like, I mean, outside from the school? Have you done any work that has been related to I mean, like a commission or a project from some client or something like that? Or most of these things are school related so far?
I had one like job that I needed to do and I just didn't do it. I needed to write a text for a guy, like for mine, not for a lot of money, but I just didn't do it because it was no fun.
You have to write only the text.
Only the text. I mean, it was kind of, I needed to help him to create a song, but he like was not in rush already. It was very hard thing to do it, but
I see.
I just decided not to do it in the end.
Oh, I see. Olga wrote us something. Thank you very much for that. Olga wrote us something like, I'm writing because I'm on my way to work. For me, it's more like a holiday. But when I have a deadline or a strict idea, it turns to stress immediately. So it's interesting. It's like writing music is sort of like, I mean, it's like, well, I'm sorry for using this metaphor. It's just like, it's the thing that I have in my head right now. It's like having kids. It can be extremely pleasant or extremely stressful, like at the same time. Like there is not a central thing. And what about Valeria? Are you there? Can you hear us? Beep 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 beep. It's like NPC. Valeria, if you come back later, tell us. Tell me for you, how is your process? I'll give you this so the guys can hear.
I can...
По-русски абсолютно без
А.
проблем. Да-да. Все могут по-русски.
У меня есть три варианта, как я пишу песню. Во-первых, если уже есть текст, то это прям очень похоже на каникулы, на праздник. То есть
Если уже есть текст.
если мне дают текст, я на него пишу песню.
Ага.
То есть я тогда пишу песню, никаких проблем нету. И это, ну, мне больше всего нравится. Второй вариант, это как, я воспринимаю как чудо, когда мне удается вдруг написать одновременно и музыку, и текст.
Да.
В этом случае, ну, прямо это идеально складывается.
Ага, с текстом это проще для тебя.
Для меня проще всего, когда есть автор текста,
Да.
у которого есть уже в голове идея песни, он ее обдумал, написал текст, и мне говорит, вот мне нужна музыка для моей песни.
Ага, понятно.
Вот в этом случае у нас в группе была вокалистка, автор большинства текстов.
Да.
Ну, соответственно, второй вариант крайне редкий, когда я сам пишу одновременно и музыку, и текст. А третий вариант для меня разбивается на два этапа. Когда я сначала, у меня есть какая-то идея песни, я пишу музыку, и потом долго и мучительно под эту музыку вписываю текст. Особенно бывает иногда, что первый куплет и припев есть, а потом нужно написать слова для второго куплета. Это вот для меня очень тяжело.
Понятно. Короче, когда есть, не знаю, как сказать по-русски frame. When you have a frame, like
Рамка.
когда есть рамка, типа для тебя это проще. А ты, как твой процесс? Чтобы ребята тебя слышали.
I don't write so often right now, but it's more like relaxation process, and it usually at night too, and it goes better when I'm really tired.
It goes better when you're really
Yeah.
I see. So it's kind of like being at the border, in the granitza of something. I mean, the granitza of tiredness or the granitza of, I don't know how writing music for me nowadays is. Again, for me, really it's the reason of existence, kind of. For me, it's really like I'm living. My kids are more important to me than music, really, to be honest with you guys, like with all of you. They are really the most important thing, and my wife. But apart from my kids and my wife, which are pretty important, for me, writing music is like a reason of existence, and I really miss it very much. And well, let's move on. So, okay, there is a question that an author is writing here. His name is Jack Perricone. The question is, why do we continue to write songs? And what is the purpose of and effect of that songwriting can have on society? So, can somebody online tell me something about this? Like, why do we continue to write songs? I mean, like, there is already, like, I don't know, the album of The Weeknd was already released. Like, why should we make a new album or whatever? I don't know. Think about your favorite record. What is your opinion about this? Like, why do we continue writing music? And why should we write music? I mean, there's a lot already. I'm asking online, guys, if somebody can tell me one idea in your head. If no answer is okay, just trying to make it as interactive as we can. Beep, 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 beep. Yep.
I can start it. Just like
Go.
I don't really want to interrupt anybody. Yeah.
Thanks.
I think creating new art is important in order for it to stay relevant.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, like I know sometimes you can relate to an album that was released, I don't know, like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But sometimes some new piece can feel amazing, like a fresh air.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is one of the things. And also, I mean, art is not only made for people who listen to it, but you also do it for yourself.
You're right, exactly. It's kind of like going to play football or something. Like, I mean, you feel great while you're doing it.
Yeah, so like Ola says right now, it's about self-expression. So you just make your life easier for yourself when you write something. So
Yeah, and
also helps you.
I want to pick up on what you're saying. For me, I'm on the rock world, and James Hetfield is the singer of Metallica. It's like a meme for people like me. It's like a funny meme. I mean, we joke a lot about him because Metallica is something kind of like, for a person like me, Metallica is kind of like the Cirque du Soleil or something. I mean, it's like some major mainstream thing that is very big. I remember once James Hetfield said something. I saw this when I was like 15. It was like, I'm very selfish. I write music for me, and it's just for me. And then, well, if everybody likes it, that's cool. And I like this idea, I think. And I remember also listening to Josh Homme, he's the singer of Queens of the Stone Age, also saying, like, I find very stupid. This is an opinion from him, I'm not telling you the truth. The singer of Queens of the Stone Age discussing, like, I find it very stupid the people that don't hear their own songs. Have you met this kind of people? They tell you on purpose, like, oh, I don't hear my own music. Like, they kind of do it like a principle. It's kind of like not wearing your own band's t-shirt. There are this kind of like fixed. don't hear to their own songs. I heard this. I don't agree with this, and I agree with Josh Home. Like Josh Home was saying, like, no, I write the perfect song for me. It's like the song that I wish another band will make, something like that. I just create something that is decided perfectly for me. How do you guys feel about this? Like online, like or here as well. Do you write music for yourself? Do you hear your own music? I don't know. I'm gonna drop it straight into somebody here. Like Grisha, do you hear your own music? I'll come back to you.
I'm not a huge fan of listening to my music,
But you're a fan of making it.
but I really like making it, yeah. And I certainly make it for me, but it's more of a not the result matters, but more like
The process.
matters.
Correct. Dima wanted to say something.
I was wrong in the last words because I listen to my music actually. I like it.
And do you hear to your music?
Yes, of
Yeah.
course.
Okay, great. So in here we all hear to our music, and I mean, I'm focused on one idea, which is don't fall in love with your creation. I was saying this in the last lecture of развитие технического слуха. I've been thinking a lot about this. Like, I'm not telling you to fall in love with your own creation, which is dangerous. It's dangerous to fall in love with your own creation. This is the best. It's like, I mean, it's cool, but I mean, that's it. Move on, right? Like, it's just not about creating a temple to your own self. So this author Jack Perricone is asking this question, and he is dropping himself an answer. It's his answer. Like, popular songs relieve the pressure of being alive. Like it happens. I mean, when you hear a new song, like for example, that I've been talking to you for weeks about this Mars Volta record, and when it came out, those 2 weeks after that album came out, I was in shock. I was really like dissolved as a person, and I had to build myself again. So popular songs relieve the pressure of being, lighten the load on us, help us connect to each other, and that's true, and that is the function of popular songs in our society, and a great function and purpose it serves. So that's an idea, and it's kind of in line with what we're saying. What we added to this is that we write music also for ourselves to feel better, and to develop ourselves and to grow. So, okay, before I start talking about the course, I would like to ask this question, like, what is something in your songwriting process that you would like to improve? So I'm going to start over there again with Grisha. Like, can you tell me something in your songwriting process that I want to take these ideas that you will tell me today, incorporate them to the course. So tell me something that you want to work on.
Finishing my ideas, like making something like a final product, because I have like hundreds of ideas, even recorded, and I just don't finish them.
Cool.
Anyway.
Cool. Well, look, one of the things that we can do in one of the lectures is to grab one of your unfinished ideas and finish them, and do it in front of you. Okay, so finishing ideas that already exist. Palina, is there something that you want to work on?
I definitely should be better at team working
Okay.
on a song, because I definitely struggle with it.
Okay. I listen to you.
Because I'm like a bit of a control freak.
Mhm.
I really like to do things my way. So probably like working on something with different people, and I think make my production a bit more diverse, I would say, because sometimes I feel like I do the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so new
Okay.
techniques. Like
Brilliant.
maybe should actually, like maybe learn to play new instruments, so I would write better drums or something like that.
Okay. How do we all feel about beat making? Like, is something that we need to work on, everybody, or like, I mean, do we want to develop a lot beat? I mean, I'm taking from what Palina said. Like, do we need to develop our beat making more, or do you feel already king of the hill in that sense, or beat
Do
making?
you ask me?
I ask
Okay.
everybody. And Dima started answering here. What do I mean about beat making? I mean rhythm composition, basically. Okay, it's something that you're calm about it. Yeah, and you?
I don't
Мой вопрос это, мой вопрос это, как вы думаете, что я сейчас хочу получить фидбэк от вами, типа, окей, что вы хотите более-менее, типа, получить с этим курсом, типа, что...
I understand this question.
Да, и потом я сейчас сказал, и Полина разговаривала про... Полина разговаривала про играть лучше инструментах, и именно она разговаривала про барабаны, И я так спросил, типа, окей, нам нужно работать в стройка битов или биты или все это. Do you feel you need to work on this? On the creation of new beats?
I mean, it's not basic beat making that
Yeah.
might be interesting.
Okay.
Like not just making like a snare and the bass.
No,
drum.
of course. We're on the third year, so we're already thinking more advanced. Sure. Sergey is answering here. Uh-huh.
I want to be able to write with beats
Да.
because I have never tried to do it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
This is skill
So
I-
writing beats is something that is important for us, right? Writing beats. Okay. Advanced level. Advanced level. Cool. Lala, what do you think you want to improve or make better in your process, in your songwriting process? Are you with us? Yeah.
Let me think.
So far, we have finishing songs, working on something with different people, make production a bit more diverse, and working on beats. Advanced level.
Working on beats, and I have the same thing as Grisha.
Finishing something.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's pretty cool. All right, let's move on. I wanted to collect a bit of data from you to feed into my course and to what I do. I do have a plan, and the plan is already kind of set, and I think that everything that you said, it's in the plan, so that's pretty cool. So the course is MPS, again, music production of a single. And so what are the learning outcomes of this course? Это учебные результаты. Типа, какие учебные результаты я хочу, что мы... Это, кстати, это хартфордширские учебные результаты. It was taken from Hertfordshire University. And I really pretty much like them. So I want you to have knowledge and understanding of the interrelationship between music creation and performance. Of course, we will also discuss this. Типа, как мы будем это выступать live. That's one thing. I want you to have working knowledge on techniques used to create, shape, and structure music. So, okay, we will develop these techniques. I want you to find a clear method of communication of your own musical ideas, whether this takes in the form of verbal, traditional notation, or any way. I want you to be able to communicate your ideas. I want you to conduct and lead a group with confidence, and you will see the second semester is more about that. You will have to be a leader for a group. And you have to develop initial musical ideas into fully formed compositions. So there you go, finishing something, applying the knowledge that you gained in the course, and develop considered and sensitive response to creative ideas. So, I mean, so you can actually start responding to other people's ideas and do things. So these are the general learning outcomes of the course. So once more, relationship between your song and the performance, use techniques to shape things, to create things, find appropriate method to communicate your ideas, work in a group. So it seems like we're pretty much in sync. Develop music ideas into fully formed composition, and be able to respond to musical stimuli given to you by other people. So I have a lesson plan developed, and I want to discuss it a little bit with you so you have an idea. For those of you who were with me, it was not either of you, but the guys who are online were with me in that philosophy course that we did. You saw me in that space of learning. This course is really going to push me very far because I'm going to delve deep into music theory, and you know I'm not good at that. So I'm going to have to work with you, and you're going to have to help me a bit. But kind of what we're going to do is something like this. We're going to be like, we're in these 2 lectures of introduction and beginning of a song. That's happening today, both of us. And then we're going to go like to melody, to rhythm and rhyme. By the way, before I continue, I ask you, especially to the songwriters, in my understanding, you have seen 0 things about lyrics writing. Am I right? I'm asking to songwriters, so it's more Palina.
We actually did a bit of a like text writing with Robin.
You did a bit of text
Some
writing.
writing
I
one,
see. Okay, cool. I mean, I guess that it's not a crime if I touch this topic further from my own point of view, right? Like, I mean, obviously. But I just didn't know that you did this with Robin. That's really cool. Anyways, we're going to discuss rhythm and rhyme. We're going to discuss tonal tendencies. So what is inside rhythm and rhyme? Like rhythm, rhyme, match phrases, masculine and feminine rhymes. In melody, we're going to discuss pitch and rhythm, like working with different pitches and rhythm, memorably melodic rhythms, etc. In tonal tendencies, we're going to be talking about tonality, major scale, in general, like tone tendencies and forms, etc. Independent melody, we're going to be doing all of this. Then we're going to be setting lyrics to music and setting music to lyrics. So we're going to be working in rhythm, meter, syncopation, like sound of words, etc. We're going to be doing something, there's a block called Simple and Interesting, tipo простой и интересно. It's just like about simplifying your songwriting and making simpler things. We're going to be seeing the blues, rock, and R&B model environments. We're going to be seeing techniques to develop our songs. And we're going to be seeing, like, melodic progressions and different steps that we can make to improve our music. So that's kind of the semester one. So semester one, in short, is kind of like introduction, melody, rhythm, tonal tendencies, and adapting music and lyrics, and seeing different styles as well. I changed my plan a bit since the last time we talked about it. And then the second semester, let me see if I can go up to here to 150%. I hope that the guys who are online, maybe by January or February, are maybe back. I hope. Grisha, do you have any news on this? Like, do you see yourself coming back towards the next year, or you don't know anything?
I don't know for sure,
Yeah.
but I'm probably staying here at least till New Year.
Yeah, I'm talking about February right now. So around... Of course, I understand. We will figure it out. If you get to that point, we will figure it out. So in the second semester, we're going to be working in the studio most of the time. So we're going to be seeing a block called Making Songs Grow in the Studio and producing material that's already written. That's really important to me, and I'll explain you why. And then we're going to study form and function, chords, melody and harmony, melodic phrases, riff-based songwriting, and tonal and rhythmical strategizing. So this plan, it's kind of like comes from a particular book that I'm following. Like, I'm doing this year. I'm kind of like basing all my lectures in a book that already exists, and I'll discuss this book in a bit. So about the projects that we're going to do, here is my goal. I want you guys, I'm going to kind of push you guys to write 4 compositions, like across the first semester. There's going to be 4 separate compositions. And then you're going to grab those 4 compositions in the second semester, and you're going to make them properly in the studio fully. So we're going to do all the production of those 4 compositions in this first semester. And in the second semester, you will go to the studio and make them amazing and potentially work with the songwriters. Or, for example, you guys are going to, the engineers, that's what I wanted to say. The songwriters, you are going to be with me in Videnia mastering, so you can also use those songs, as material for you to mix for Videnia mastering. We will find a way to make them as proper as we can. But the first semester is about composing 4 songs. And the second semester is about going and recording those songs in the studio. And the third semester is, look at me. And the last point is, like, I want you to deliver for me an EP with 1 single. And the single is like, my goal is that we have 4 songs and we focus on one as your single. And then you give me an EP of 4 songs. And one of those songs is a single that was really well developed. So that's how I interpret this idea of музыкальный was single of. Like, you see, my concept was, let's go and do how proper big artists do. Like, they want to record an album, they make 29 songs, and then they choose like a bunch. Yeah, what do you want to say? Yeah, I can write orchestral. Look, you can write orchestral stuff, and you can what's the name? And you can, for example, like, maybe my advice would be like, hey, let's get you to grab some cellos and bring them to DTH and record those cellos. Like, maybe you don't have to record the whole orchestra. We know these people. I know somebody. Yeah, of course. We can call Mina. Sorry, it's an internal joke here. We can call Mina to play violin. No, we will sort it out. The question that Dima was asking is like... look, like, if your composition has 0 studio components, we will figure it out, I'm sure. Like, you're an engineer and you have other experiences in the studio, It's just like when we were making the program, I wanted every year to have a, like the songwriters don't have a subject which is like studio connected. So I wanted everybody to have studio projects. It's kind of like, in a way, you see, it's sort of like optional. We will see the lectures there of how to do some stuff in the studio. But what I mean that it's kind of optional is that all I wanted is that you guys have the motivation to do a studio project. If you decide not to do it in the studio, it's not like a requisite for me, kind of. Like, that's what I wanted to say. So that's kind of like about the program. So I'm gonna be following a book like I was explaining you, and I have a reason why I'm gonna do that, and I'll explain you as we progress. So in short, we're gonna be doing composition 1, 2, 3, 4. You see each one of them are kind of 14%. Then there is a studio recording. Again, if your thing is like, I have a full orchestra, maybe we're gonna do something like, well, can you please record like 2 of those cellos, like in the studio or something, and we will figure it out. We will figure that out. I was really not expecting that question. I was expecting everybody to have vocals or something, but it's a good point. And then you will give me your single and EP, which is 30% of your evaluation. So that's kind of how it goes. Any questions there on the online world? Did you guys got all that information? Is all that cool? I'm taking it like a yes, right? Super. Are you okay?
It's more than okay. It's exciting for me.
Great. I'm really happy. So Sergey is telling us that it's more than okay. It's exciting for him. And yeah, I'm really excited too. And this is going to be a hard course for me to teach, for sure, because I'm very intuitive musician and I don't have like a fixed method, and I'm going to have to make everything very concrete for you. All right. So we continue. And you started guessing that the author we're going to be studying is Jack Perricone, and the book we're going to be studying, I mean, it's mentioned downstairs, is called Great Songwriting Techniques. And so we start with this idea, and I really agree with this idea. It's like the rational mind has a definite place in the creative process. So, I mean, we are in this like space of improvisation and ideas and the I don't know, the ghost or whatever, the unknown part of our souls. But I think that if we can be rational, do you understand what I mean? If we can be rational, we can be very I don't know, it can be a very helpful process for our songwriting. And the guys who already saw lectures with me in the past, that you will know that I'm really into this. Like, I mean, I love the creative space. I love to be free and to be very open-minded and to open my mind and horizon. Но я люблю ограничения. Ограничений. Верно? Ограничения. Ага. Я люблю ограничения. I love limitations because...
Limitation, like the set of instruments.
For example, set of instruments or like a certain theme. Like a theme can be a limitation, like you were saying before, a text. A certain amount of text. Or whatever, or just like the pre-made decision that closes the horizon of options and help me focus on something. So, and I want to kind of like go into this rational space so we can become familiar with tools and techniques of songwriting, and then your freedom gets really increased once you can rationally approach to things. So that's kind of what's behind this course. It's more like, let's try to systematize and be as organized and as, I don't know, scientific as we can about this creative process.
And
yeah.
They can see the great example of working with limitation in Johann Sebastian Bach.
Yes, yes.
If he has an organ,
yeah.
he writes for organ. If
yes.
he has cellos,
yes, he writes for cellos. So what Sergey was saying is that a great example of limitation is Johann Sebastian Bach. And the fact that when he had, I'm saying it for the guys online, and when he had like an organ, he was playing an organ. When he had, and he was writing for an organ, and when he had a cello, he was playing for a cello. In the modern times, we have this curse. I think it's a curse, really, of just like having all the options, and then we're like paralyzed a little bit about having all the options and having root tracker and be able to download anything from the internet. Sometimes even downloading the material from the internet takes more time than the actual writing.
Some
yeah.
people it's curse, but for another it's like a good thing.
Yeah. No, of course. I mean, for some people, Dima says that for some people it's a curse. For some people, it's a curse. For some people, it's a good thing. I agree with this. I mean, and in any ways, the point, I mean, in the sense that I agree that everybody will have a different path. All I can do is to document my own, and then you can make a decision of what works for you. Like, I guess, I mean, it's just like what worked for me. I remember that I was less productive when I was kind of putting myself in a more, liquid space. Like, I was less productive. I was also less productive when I was working like so late in the nights. Like, nowadays I work in the days, and I'm really like the opposite. Like, I mean, I have done production here at 10 in the morning, like just arriving here at 10 and just producing from 10 to 2, and it's great, but it depends on everybody. What do you want to say? Dima wants to say something.
More precise definition, I think it's like curse for newbies.
It's a curse for newbies. Yeah,
But
of course.
It's really cool for professionals with experience.
Imagine
They
giving
know what they want.
Imagine giving root tracker to Hans Zimmer or something. Like, to give, I mean, he doesn't need root tracker because he gets everything like with his own
Does the
signature.
instruments for himself,
Yeah, and he
by
does
himself.
exactly, and he does instruments by himself. So I mean, he has no limitations in that sense. He expands the limitations. But anyways, I mean, like, you see, creating courses and gathering a whole bunch of people in a room and trying to help them with something. I mean, I will not help you progress if I just tell you, like, okay, guys, what you have to do is just to drink a bottle of whiskey and then just like get lost in your drunkenness and create music. It's like, okay, like, I mean, thanks for the method, like, I mean, I could just have figured that out by myself. So, okay, I'm following still the narrative of the author. So, what do we want? I'm kind of kidding here. Like, what do we want? We want this, and when do we want it? We want it now. Like, we want to be in that intuitive place in the zone and to stay there for long. Like, that's something that we want. Very cool that both Grisha and Olya and Palina said we want to finish more songs that we've started. Like, as you can see, like, I mean, the situation. This is an author from the USA, and he is focused on the same problem as you are. He wants to finish the songs that, I mean, everybody has this problem basically. We start something, we don't finish it, it stays there like a proto idea. We want to make sure that more of your songs become keepers. So, yeah.
What is keepers?
Keepers is an expression in English which means, for example, imagine that you meet a girl and your friend tells you, she's a keeper, like, you want to keep her, you want to marry her or something, like, she's a keeper. So, or maybe you go to avto.ru and then you're looking for a new car, and then you go and see this I don't know, like Toyota FJ Cruiser, which is pretty cool and has like 10,000 kilometers. You need to get this car. Like, it's a keeper. It's a car that you want to keep. So it's a song that you want to keep. It's an expression in English. It's like a keeper, We need to keep this song there. We don't need to throw it away. So we want to make sure that more of your songs are going to be keepers. So what also we want to do, we want to study and listen and analyze and write songs regularly with the new knowledge that you gained. So you don't have to wait for inspiration to begin your next song. And you want to become your own best teacher so you can learn. And we also want to visit the Oxford University Press site. There is a site dedicated to follow this book, and we will be seeing their examples and techniques that they are proposing there. Wait, I made a mistake here. So let me carry on. All right, so we have 15 minutes for this first block of the lecture, so and then we will make a pause and we will continue at 1. So we are going to be following the book of Jack Perricone. It's called Songwriting. He's a songwriting teaching in Berkeley. Sorry, it's called Great Songwriting Techniques. And for me, I'm going to be outside of my comfort zone very much, so I'm going to have to study a lot. Actually, Andrei Danilov is going to help me to develop this course. We will be having meetings, so he's kind of helping me to prepare, so I can say something meaningful when we're talking about music theory, and also you will help me a lot in that sense. I have a question for, it's an important question I think I closed, no, I didn't close the online. I think I had closed you guys. I have a question for Palina, Lala, Olga, and Valeria. Like, will you be coming on offline, or will you be a lot online? I know that Palina will be away for several weeks. That's okay, Palina. I don't need to know this, but I'm more asking. Sorry, I already know this. I'm more asking about Lala and Olga and Valeria. Are you guys going to be coming to the lectures physically, or you see it more like online? Because I need to adapt.
I will be offline today.
You will be offline, online today, but you will come later. You mean in the second block?
I will, yeah.
Okay, great. And I'm asking, like, обычно, like, usually will you be coming, like, to the classes, or not only you, Lala? Now I understand your case, like Olga, Valeria, like, just to plan, because there is a lot of exercises that I want to do here, and if you're not here, it's a bit harder. I think Olga cannot hear me.
Olga answered you.
Also, okay, I'll be both. Sometimes I work, like now I'm online. Okay, great. Anyways, we will see what happens, because I just need to adapt for that. Okay, super. So obviously you need to, just like in every of my courses, you know, if you go back to the LMS, I don't want to lose this. If you go back to Google Classroom, so in my classwork, there is here, where are you? I passed it. Музыкальный прess was a single, so there is the lectures and videos are there, and I already put the book there that I'm using, you know, so if you want to download it and explore it for yourself, it's there. The book has a lot of other resources that I'm not gonna cover, you know. I skip some parts because I cannot cover the whole thing, but it would be useful. The course is gonna be heavily inspired by this book, because I think this guy, understands this thing better than me. And well, you know, videos are in the playlist in YouTube, like they're already there, and the slides are where they're usually there. Super. So, okay. So most of the songs that we will study, you know, I'm not so much into commercial music, and actually I don't know this so well, but I'm gonna have to, again, like, study it. But most of the things we're gonna study are successfully commercial. I think that, this is a model that can help us kind of to understand what has been successful for the masses and all of that. And well, obviously the word commercial, some people see it as a bad thing, or less than, or selling out or something, but this author is choosing commercially successful songs, not because he thinks it's all great and all songs have to be like that, but it's just like, hey, this was successful, so let's just analyze it. So that's kind of going to be a theme in the course. And I don't know. What do you think about this? This is a really interesting question. He says the best commercial songs have appealed to the masses because they contain some innate truth. I don't know if I agree with that sentence. Do you agree with that sentence? Я могу это переводить. Типа он скажет, ты понимаешь?
What is innate?
Innate, it means типа. Let's translate this. If somebody can, I'll do it, bro. I have it here. Translate google.com. Wait. If some of you guys online there know how to say innate, just please tell us. It's innate in Russian is what?
Врожденный.
Врожденный. So, and I'm asking a question here. Do you think that songs that are successful have a врожденное право, как сказать? Or what? Да. Like, они успешны, потому что, не знаю, они играют психологическая формула, которая, не знаю, люди нравится, или потому что у них есть своя правда?
I think there are three ways how songs become popular. First one, it is...
Wait, I want you to say this on the mic so the guys can hear you. Yeah.
I think there are three ways how songs can be popular. First, it is like good idea at good time.
Yeah,
For example, мы ждем перемен Цоя, because it was exactly at the exact time. Second is the charisma of the artist. It is very important, and maybe the not excited song, but charisma of artists make it very popular.
Yeah.
And third way is the most stable, most main is the professionalism of writer.
Yeah.
If you know all the skills. Yes.
You guys there online, like, do you agree with these thoughts, or Can somebody comment? I don't know. I dropped the ball to Palina there because I don't know. It just happened like that.
So Sergey mentioned charisma.
Charisma, right time and right place, and skills of the songwriter and the producers.
I mean, yeah.
The question is,
I mean,
is
also,
the question is,
like-
is there something in the formula? That's the question. Sorry, in the formula of writing a song, or
I mean, if we speaking of commercial success, it's probably also a good promotion. Not only right time, right place. We have to like have a person
Sure.
who knows where to pitch it.
so you add there the music industry element.
Yeah.
Yeah, there the
Seriously.
music industry the element. Okay, and Grisha, how do you see this?
Yeah, just really, I don't believe like in innate truths. I don't believe there are like any constant
Uh-huh.
rules. I
Mm-hmm.
believe they change like every year or so. Like, but if you guess something that people cannot formulate before you,
Mm-hmm.
but they kind of know somewhere, it might be like the closest thing to innate truth.
Look at this, like, and for those of you who were in that course of philosophy with me, you may remember this type of conversations. You know, it's like the true reason of being of something. For example, there are sculptures from ancient Greece that you see them now, and they kind of still make you feel something really deep. You know, because they kind of speak something beyond that same sculpture. It's like they contain something that is timeless. So when this person is referring to innate truth, he's referring to something that it's timeless, precisely that. It's something that it's timeless, it's something that can be observed by anybody. So, for example, Grisha says it's more a matter of context. You know, it's like right time and right place. Am I right to get it from you? Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Palina's goes more like, hey, yes, right time and right place and right manager. Something like that. And right, I don't know, PR. Would be cool to hear Olga's opinion here. I don't know if you can write. Grigory wrote. Olga, do you have any opinions there? If you can write us something, because I really care about your opinion. You see this very differently than the rest. But I don't know. Maybe you're at work and you cannot answer right now. So, like, while Olga is writing, I would add my own opinion here. I have come to. You know, when you're playing like a video game, let's say like Zelda or something, and The Legend of Zelda, and there is this like ocarina, whatever, and you play the right notes, and then some door opens, something like that. Like, I do think that there is something in nature which is like the right configuration of something. I cannot describe that. I cannot say. I also think it's context dependent, like you guys are saying, you know. But the song Imagine, for example, by John Lennon, it's a song that I don't like personally. Like I don't like the song personally. It's just like it's my taste, you know. I don't like it. I don't like the song in particular. But that song exploded in the world because of the context, of course, because of the wars that were happening in the time. But I also think that there is something in the shape how that song was written that makes it, that amplifies the meaning of it. So I do think that, I don't know if we want to go call it an innate truth, but I do think that there are some things that when you configure them right, like I was telling you in Zelda, you know, you configure right what you're going to play with that ocarina, and poof, and then their door opens. So, and the more I am into music and the more I work in music, the more I understand that that these formulas, you know, they do kind of touch something inside deeply psychologically, and this is something that we're going to study and explore together. Dima is saying his opinion. I'll repeat it in the mic.
I kind of agree with Grisha because this innate truth is a combination of aspects that you cannot articulate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right now, but some people just feel it,
Yeah.
and for another, you should explain why it was like this.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's more kind of like rather than a truth.
For example, you are the guy who feels it.
Da.
You
Da.
don't need the explanation.
Sure.
But it's not like for everyone. So it's like this.
So what Dima said, for those of you who are online, is something akin to, hey, I agree with Grisha in some sense. Some people have the capacity to feel those structures and see them. Am I getting you right? But not everybody can perceive them, and so can we call them a truth? No. Go ahead.
Everybody can perceive it, but not everybody can create something just by feelings, not by like structured work. And the innate truth, it's a combination of these different aspects which you should combine to create something, to create a song that people may feel like good commercial or like not like feel pleasant song. Yeah.
I get. So great, Lala. Do you have any opinions on this? Do you understand what we're talking about? Olga wrote something. It's hard to say now because, like Grisha said, everything changes every year, and it's more like new generation can associate themselves, and it's different from everybody. It would be interesting, and I think we should do something like that here. It would be interesting to take like a pop hit in the 90s, a pop hit in the 2000s, and a pop hit in the 2010s, and see what elements we can find that are common to each other, and then discuss this. Because I mean, is it really changing? Like, I don't know so much if I agree that it's really changing. Like, it's kind of like, for example, Dostoevsky and a very modern writer are using very similar resources to scare you or to make you feel. I mean, maybe the way it's manifested is a bit different, but I mean, if you read a novel and you get nervous or scared or anxious, you know, I think that the authors are touching the same principles. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. And I agree with the author here that I think we can analyze this and extract some kind of, I don't know if to call it truth, but some kind of pattern that it can help us in our own songwriting. So yeah, that's kind of, I like what you wrote, Olga, as well. Like there is, because you use the word generation here and what as generations associate themselves to. And you know what is interesting? I'm in a moment of my life that is a little bit different than yours, because I mean, maybe Sergey and I are closer in that sense, age-wise, I mean, but I'm already in the point when I'm a little bit of a static for the new generations, and I see it from my point of view. And you know, what I feel is that newer generations feel the same feelings that I was feeling, like when I was younger. It's just it's just like manifested differently. For example, I don't know, in this new generation, like anime is a huge thing and it's a very big part of life. For me, it wasn't, but I see the same patterns, you know. And I think that this is what the author means by innate truth, you know. The pattern is kind of there, and we want to describe it. So, all right, great. This was kind of like a class introduction. We pulled an hour through here, and I'm going to stop here because I need to do something in between 12 and 1. And at 1, we will continue this for the second block, and we will work 15 minutes longer. And in the next lecture, we will work 15 minutes longer. So then we will recover those 30 minutes that we lost. It's at 12:30? Yeah, so it's 30 minutes? Okay, great. Yeah, sorry, I just getting used to the new schedule. So in 30 minutes, we'll be back and we will continue this. I'm going to run to grab some food, and I will send, I think I will leave the same link. You guys can stay there in the link, to be honest, like if you want. But I will stop the stream on YouTube. So this stays there. So see